All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Another day, another Chelsea news segment. Two particular news that I want to talk about, discuss with you guys about, and I would love to know what you guys have to say about it. First of all, is about Romelu Lukaku coming out publicly and stating how to use him. And also the second one is about Antonio Rudiger. Obviously, his contract is ending this particular season. So there's always going to be a lot of speculation as to where he's going and what's going on with the current situation at Chelsea. So we'll look into that a little bit. I might even do a separate segment down the track about the whole Rudiger situation, maybe even a live stream down the track, see what you guys all feel about it. But first stop is about Romelu Lukaku. Now, I just want to read out what he said publicly via UEFA. Looks like I'm not exactly sure when it was said and whatnot, but this is what's been floating around in recent times in the past 24 hours. So first, I want to go through the quotes that he had to say as to how he needs to be used. And then I want to give you my opinion on how I feel about this whole situation, because Antonio Conte recently has come out and said that. So I just want to know, how would a manager like Thomas Tuchel feel when all these people are saying or telling him, whether directly or indirectly, how to use Romelu Lukaku? So I'll give you my opinion on that. And as I said, I want to hear what you guys have to say as well. Okay, so this is what Romelu Lukaku had to say. The way I'm built, I'm quite big. Everybody thinks I'm sort of target man, just holding up the ball and being a goal poacher. But I've never played that way, and I hate it. He actually hates playing as a target man. Okay. My biggest strength is that I'm dangerous when I'm facing towards the goal, because that's when I rarely make wrong choices. After I pass the ball, I know where I have to position myself in the box. Yeah, that's true. He's when he passes and he moves, he definitely knows where he needs to go. He goes on to say, I can do a bit of everything, and in some games, I know there is a lot of space behind the defense. I play differently. The reason I'm so productive in front of the goal is because I can do a bit of everything. Now, firstly, whatever he said is pretty much what we all agree on, right? However, a couple of things. First of all, I do a bit of everything, and in some games when I know there is a lot of space behind the defense. Now, in the Premier League, you're not going to get many games where there's a lot of space behind defense. And now the fact that a lot of the Premier League teams know that we have you and the way we want to kind of use you at times, they don't want to give you the space behind the defense. So unfortunately, you're going to have to get used to a lot of the times playing with your back against the defender. We're going to come across, forget about Premier League, Juventus, they deployed the low block, extreme low block, where they had five and then a further three in front of the five and then two more. So there's going to be plenty of games. Like Southampton game was a bit of a surprise for me, to be honest. I actually expected Southampton to probably sit deep, but still press from deep when we come close and then counter. But they made it a very open game for us. They pressed us high up. They attacked as well. And it was an open game at the end of the day. And Lukaku played well. Werner, I thought, had a better game and ended up getting the goal. Lukaku could have scored a couple of goals. There was a chance right at the end where he hit the post, which Chilwell ended up getting the goal for. But most games, I'm pretty sure in the Premier League, Lukaku is going to come against a low block. Games like Man City, where they play a high line, we don't seem to, then attack. At Stamford Bridge, the way we played, I'm pretty sure, hopefully, we won't play that way. Maybe those games he can be a bit more prolific. But that's the other thing. Lukaku in the last few games hasn't really scored, and some of the bigger games he's actually been a bit quiet. Liverpool, albeit there was a red card, but just before that, I think Van Dijk and Matip had his number to a certain degree. Definitely against Man City, Diaz covered him, Laporte covered him nicely. But then again, we didn't support Lukaku enough through midfield against City. Against Juventus, it was just crazy the way we played. And it felt perfectly for an Juventus team that is so well-rounded in defending. especially when it comes to low block. It's going to be very difficult. So, look, I agree with most things that Lukaku said here, but in essence, I feel like you do have to get used to being a target man, because at the end of the day, one of the big reasons we got him in my opinion, is not only just the goals up front, but to have a focal point. Yes, we do need to utilize him properly. I completely understand that. We can't just use him as a one-trick pony, just as a focal point. There is a lot of different facets of the game that Lukaku has. I completely get it. But there will be times where you will be used as a focal point, and that's what I'm trying to say. Now, on the other issue about him stating here publicly that he kind of feels like he's not being used properly, which I kind of understand, as I've already mentioned. I kind of get it. There's definitely other facets that we can use, but Antonio Conte publicly came out and said this, that Chelsea's not using Lukaku properly. Now Lukaku's coming out and saying it. I just don't want these people to tick off Thomas Tuchel. I don't think Thomas Tuchel would care too much about what Antonio Conte has to say, because he's already said Antonio Conte, he's in the he's in the broadcasting place. He's a pundit. Well, he's acting as a pundit now. He's talking behind the scenes. He doesn't care about that. But I just don't want Lukaku to tick off someone like Thomas Tuchel. Do you know what I mean? Like, Thomas Tuchel is a very, very astute manager, a very experienced manager. He will know exactly how to use someone like Lukaku. He's not stupid. And I don't want Lukaku, I know this is the first time he's come out and said this publicly, but I personally feel there's no need for it, mate. Like, everyone knows that you've got many other facets of your game. You're a skillful player. Everyone knows that at the moment you're not being utilized correctly to your potential, I suppose. And even Thomas Tuchel has said it in the press conferences that there's only a couple of players that are connecting with him a lot better than others. Kovacic and Mason Mount at the moment are connecting far better. And he's talked about connection. Football is about connection, and it's going to take a bit of time. Timo Werner is working hard as well to build that connection. So, yeah, I don't necessarily want Lukaku to come out like this all the time and talk about this publicly. It just creates tension that is not necessary, in my opinion. I want to know what you guys have to say. Honestly, I want to hear what you guys have to say off the back of what Lukaku said publicly. Was it necessary? I mean, doesn't Thomas Tuchel already know this? And I just feel like there's no need to sort of let a particular manager like Thomas Tuchel know tactically how he needs to use Romelu Lukaku. So that's that. Let me know what your thoughts are in regards to this. Let's talk about Rudiger. As I said, I want to do probably a separate stream on this and talk about it in a broad manner, but let's quickly touch upon a few of these things. Lots of news coming out about Rudiger. We already know this is his last contract season with Chelsea. We are definitely trying to find some sort of middle ground, negotiate with him a new contract extension. And Rudiger seems like overall wants to stay at Chelsea. He's happy to stay at Chelsea. But the biggest issue is the money. We've spoken about this. This is probably going to be his last big contract, and he wants to make enough money, and rightly so. He's one of the best defenders in world football at the moment, and under Thomas Tuchel, he's done a madness. This is what sort of come out from Daily Express Sport, I believe. Thomas Tuchel is urging Chelsea to tie down a deal soon for Antonio Rudiger. Tuchel, I've seen a few other quotes as well from different other publications that he's privately speaking with Chelsea hierarchies to get this done ASAP. Talks have ground to a halt after Rudiger rejected an offer of 125,000 a week pounds. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Paris Saint-Germain are all watching this situation closely. Now, 125,000 a week, I feel like that's an insult, man. Apparently, in recent times, there's been some quotes from The Athletic saying that we were going for Jules Koundé, which was true during the transfer window, summer transfer window, and we were looking to pay him £200,000 a week. I mean, how are we looking to pay Jules Koundé £200,000 a week and Rudiger 125,000? Like, that's just such a proper insult for me. We need to give him somewhere near to 200,000. If we can offer Jules Koundé 200,000, I don't think this is the money issue. So for me, it makes far more sense to offer that money to a player that's actually proven right now under Thomas Tuchel for a good part of a year, for the past 12 months almost. So he's been instrumental to our defense, instrumental to the silverware that we've won in recent times in regards to Champions League and Super Cup. And he's been awesome in the sense of getting us that top four last season as well. And he's seemingly to be one of the main players this season for the drive, to be the contender of winning the Premier League title. So for me, £125,000 a week is an absolute joke. Antonio Rudiger via CFC Bayern, which is Christian Falk, a German journalist, well-known German journalist. He said that Antonio Rudiger mentioned, I feel good where I am now. So that fits. So he's talking about Chelsea. He's happy about that. And he further goes on to say, the interest from Bayern honors me. That shows that I've done a few things right recently. So look, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of interested party, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain. There's also talks about Juventus. These guys will snap him up because he's one of the better defenders in world football at the moment, as I said. Bayern Munich, they don't know what's going on with Nicolas Sule. Sule has been linked with us as well. Real Madrid, they need a defender. They've lost Sergio Ramos, Rafael Varane. Paris Saint-Germain probably will lose Sergio Ramos and probably needs to tie down someone long-term, and Rudiger probably fits that. And Juventus with Chiellini and Bonucci, how much longer can they keep going? So, and they'll get the player for free. That's the crazy part. They'll get the player for free, and they can offer a lot more money than 125,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let me know what your thoughts are about this development. I still feel that Rudiger wants to stay at Chelsea, and it's just a matter of Chelsea coming to the party. Thomas Tuchel was really pushing for this as well. So we'll see what happens. As I said, I want to broadly cover this a little bit more. Once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this news segment. We're back tomorrow. I've got a Pulisic segment coming up with a American fan who's also a Roma fan. You guys would have known him, Wayne. We've done a show recently, so we'll do another show together about Christian Pulisic. So do look out for that, and then there'll be more Chelsea news segment tomorrow. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Once again, smash the like button. It really helps out the channel a lot with the growth of the channel. It's completely correlated, the likes. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe, and also follow me on all the other socials as well, especially Instagram. Really trying to build that platform. So until next time, everyone, see ya.